Good morning, everybody. I hope your day is off to a great start. We are ready to head out. We are starting here in Yemasee, South Carolina. And this picture behind me has some relevance with what we're going to be doing today. It's a picture of an old church, the ruins of an old church. And I'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. Today's journey is going to take us out of South Carolina into Georgia and probably all the way into Florida, but we'll find out. Welcome to the Average Me channel. It's a bit of a wet, gloomy, drizzly day today. I don't know if it's going to stay this way or if it'll improve as we go along, but we're not going to let it spoil our day. There's just a little too much glare. I think you're seeing as much of our room as you are the actual church. But by happenstance, a picture of this church was in our room, and we had plans of going and visiting it today. Welcome to day 2 of our short little road trip, and we are just enjoying the daylights out of it. And I'll tell you, right now, it really feels like we're in the deep south. I know that seems kind of strange, but I mean, you just sense it. You know, there is such southern hospitality, and just, you know, when you look around you, I mean, this could almost be a car ad. Just beautiful. We're on our way now to the ruins of the old Sheldon church. And that is just majestic, isn't it? This historical marker really tells a story, but I'll explain it to you as we walk around these ruins. This sign explains that it is private property. So as always, if you come and visit, please be respectful. So let's go. Quite an interesting history to these ruins. This church was built around 1753. And the grounds are just beautiful. You'll notice that there's a few tombstones over there. One of those belongs to former Governor William Bull and dates back to the 1700s. I imagine this was the entrance. Really beautiful, must have been majestic when it was first built. This church, originally built in 1753, was burned to the ground, well, except what you see standing here, during the American Revolution by the British. That was back in 1779. Then, around 1826, they rebuilt the church. They rebuilt the roof and the entire interior. Grave sites and tombstones are everywhere. It's hard to avoid walking past them or walking over them. This one dates back to 1831 to a Mr. Ward, Lanatelli Ward, it looks like. And then in 1865, during the Civil War, it was once again burned, and it was left in the state that you now see it, this time by the Union Army. And as we look around, you can see probably one of the reasons why this fence is here. Unfortunately, some people can't resist vandalizing the property. But this is just amazing. And it makes you wonder how old some of these trees are. I haven't found the governor's resting place yet, and I kind of wonder if it's not one of these crypts that are behind the fence. Here's an old decrepit fence. I wonder if this was part of someone's gravesite. You can see that there was once a beautiful decoration around it. And now the years are taking its toll. Look at that. Must have been quite ornate. Ephraim Michael McKay. This dates back to 1832, and for some reason people are leaving coins to commemorate Mr. McKay's life. Now there is a huge archway on this side. I don't think this was the main entrance because the pillars were on the other side, but that is really interesting as well. I don't know if there's any depictions of this church before it burned, but it'd be really interesting to see what it looked like. If I find anything, I will certainly post it here. Here's another set of resting places, and this is Charles Edward, son of Reverend Charles Leverett. I think we found the former governor's resting site. This tomb says, inside this tomb are the remains of Mary Bull, wife of John Bull. I would assume John Bull is related to William Bull, the former governor. It says she died in 1771. Wow, 1771. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe John Bull was a brother, a cousin of the governor. However, because of the way that it is placed here on the grounds in such a dominant site, I'm guessing that this is relatives or family of Governor William Bull. The governor died in 1755, 20 years before Mary, here in the tomb. So maybe we can still find him. I don't see his name on anything yet. The trees, the surroundings, the cemeteries really adds to these ruins. This fence was not put up until 2019. Up until then, you can actually walk inside, and you can see there is a gravel pathway inside there. So that would be really interesting to go inside, but you can see most of it. We're only about 8 feet away. I wonder if that was the pulpit right there. We were wondering if perhaps where you see the plaster, there might have been some frescoes painted on there. I guess we'll never know. It looks like there was some kind of a framework or something attached to the wall there. Apparently, and I assume with permission of the parish, some people still have their weddings here. But I imagine anyone can come and take pictures here, just like we are now, whether you're a wedding party or just here out of interest. There's a little marker over here. I'm interested as to what it says. The Campbell Oak, dedicated to Biz and Bill Campbell for over 75 years of loving care to these grounds. Wow, that's kind of neat. The family has their own oak tree. And resting beneath the oak are the Whites, 1941, 1928. This is the entire White family, 1937, and Thelma, 1946. No climbing on the Campbell Oak. And look how close that is to the old Sheldon Church. This one's interesting, in memory of Daniel Hayward, and then it says his occupation. He was a planter. Memory of Ann Bull Hayward, which makes me wonder if she's a member of the Bull family, William Bull. And look at that interesting hollow tree. With all of this behind me, and I'm looking at a hollow tree. Well, it's time for us to continue on our journey and say goodbye to the old Sheldon Church. The fence around the grounds looks really old as well. And there's a plaque on it that says National Registry of Historic Places. Time to leave Yemasee. Next stop, Savannah. And here is Thelma and Louise. Along the way, I ran into Thelma and Louise, matching fiberglass elephants. These elephants were originally purchased in 1974 in Alabama and were shipped down here, originally named Al and Lizzie. And you know I love fiberglass roadside attractions, but I wonder what used to be up there. I wonder if there was once a sign or something mounted on the top of her head. These are huge and quite fascinating. But look what I see over there. A couple of little resting kitty cats. Just a couple of fun roadside attractions as we make our way to Savannah, Georgia. I wasn't looking for Thelma and Louise. We just kind of came across it. I had read about it online when I was researching different places to stop and roadside attractions, so it was one of those fortuitous things that we happened to come across. We're about 20 miles out of Savannah.